Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Nikki Zick, and today we're going to be doing a mixed media artwork abstract floral using liquid frisket, watercolor paints, and permanent markers to do the fine details. And I put a 1/2 inch border of white tape to make the artwork really pop and make the artwork look like a finished piece. You can either send this as a card, it's 5x7, or it can easily be framed and displayed. So let's get started. I already taped out my border edge and pressed the edge firmly so to make sure there's no leakage of paint underneath the tape. And I drew with pencil the 2 flower images that are prominent in my design. And next we're going to do drawing gum and paint it on top of my pencil lines and let it dry. And this is the first step of this artwork. We're going to use, this is a drawing liquid that I purchased on Amazon. There's other brands, but this brand is Pebo, P-E-B-E-O, and it's called drawing gum. And it's blue colored, so that way when you paint with it, you could see it on your paper. I'm going directly into the bottle and painting with the blue, and just go slowly over your line work and make sure you have a consistent solid line, a little bit on the heavy side, not too thick of a line, but you want it to be opaque to make sure that it stays white after you overpaint the watercolor. So just go slowly around the edges of your petals, and then we'll go inside the petals to do the fine line details of each petal, and just go around gently and rhythmically. I'm listening to some classical piano, and I like to start my day at least doing one piece of artwork before I start with my daily routine. But I do try to get onto the art desk and do one piece of artwork. It makes me happy. The music, the peacefulness, the quiet of the morning. And here I am with you, sharing my technique of mixed media. I'm going around, as you can see, the flower's edge. So right now I just painted the first flower, the outer edge, and now I'm going to go inside the petals and do line details. In each petal, we're going to draw lines, paint lines, but we're going over, I drew a few pencil lines just for direction so I knew which way I wanted my line work to go. And you don't have to worry if your pencil lines are too dark that you're going over, because it will be erased when you remove the liquid frisket or drawing gum, whichever you'd like to call it. There's different names, but it's all the same. And as I go around, you can see the flower and the design is starting to take shape. So here's the first flower. Now I'm going to go to the bottom right and do the amoeba-shaped flower. It's very organic in shape. You just follow the curves and paint the blue frisket around the edge like we did with the petals. We're doing the outer shape first, and then we'll go inside and do lines radiating to the center, trying to keep your line work thin and delicate. The brushes do get a little funky after a few times of using the liquid frisket, so don't use your best paintbrushes when you're using this medium, because after a few paintings you will have to throw it away. I do clean my brush frequently when I use this medium, but the glue is very strong and sticks to the bristles. Okay, there's the second flower. Next we're going to do some dashes of blue, and there'll be some, not polka dots, but just some white random dots over here on the bottom left, and then we'll bring some in the middle on the right side, just random dashes here and there. Okay, we're finished with the drawing gum. It also collects around the jar. This is very strong glue. I have it all over my fingers, but as you can see, it balls right up and comes right off your fingers. Now we'll let our liquid frisket dry a moment before we start painting on top. And this is what I was mentioning. The glue goes around the barrel of the brush, and you just have to use your fingers and clean off the edge. Dip it in your water again and save it as your designated drawing gum paintbrush. Next we'll use our watercolor paints, and I would like to use them in a medium to thick consistency, and then we could water it down with water, clean water. This is a wet on dry technique. I'm going to start on the upper left and put some heavy purple, and then I'll use a clean brush and blend it out. Then I'll do a little bit of the same purple on the bottom, right, middle. Again, get some clean water, blend it out. Next I have a blue, which is more on the cobalt blue side, deep and rich. I'm getting it to be the right consistency that I would like. And as you see, it's very dark blue, but watercolors will dry lighter. As you see in my original, I used the same palette, but the colors dried lighter. We'll put some blue down on the lower right. Make sure your paint goes to the edge where the tape is. I'll use a little clean water, blend it in, have some light areas, a little more clean water. Up here we'll pull some paint away so it's easier to dry. Next I have a very pretty red violet. Again, getting it to the right consistency. And we'll bring some of the red violet to the top right, blending it down. I'll use some clean water and blend it away, making sure again all of the edges are painted. Remove some paint here. And then on the bottom left, we'll add red violet and let it blend into the regular violet. A little more. We need a little bit more blue paint here. Make sure all your corners and edges are painted. The next step is to let it dry for about 15 minutes, and then we'll remove the liquid frisket. So we'll be right back. Okay, our artwork is completely dry, and this is what it looks like. After the paint is dry, you could see the liquid fluid masking areas that we painted are transparent, and you could see where they are still. And now we're going to use our remover and do downward strokes on the art pad and the artwork and start to remove the masking liquid. It acts like a gum and it collects on itself and it turns into rubber. And just go down the artwork and slowly remove the masking liquid from your artwork, getting every little piece. You could go sideways, and this is what it looks like when it comes off the paper. And now we can go in with our marker. I have a dark purple marker. This is a Ahu Ahu marker. One tip is a chisel tip, and the other end is a fine line tip, and that's what I'm going to be using now. I'm going to do some accents. I'm going to draw a leaf sprig coming this way, and we're going to decorate the background and add more design elements. Right now I'm just doing sprigs of leaves going different directions. Next we'll do some polka dots in random pattern in the negative areas that do not have the masking liquid. Just random dots here and there to fill the area. I also had drawn some sprigs of lines from the edge. There's some darker areas here. We'll do one sprig of this way. Next, on the bottom flower that's more organic, I'm going to outline it with marker and go inside the white area that is resisted by the masking fluid and drawing into that white area with the marker and giving it more detail. Go around until you finish. And then that's our completed artwork. We'll remove the tape, border edge, exposing the nice white background. And this is a watercolor block pad, which I prefer to use so your artwork stays all intact. And here's our final artwork using the masking liquid, watercolor paints, and permanent marker. And I'll show you quickly how to remove it from the block. You use your palette knife to get the upper topmost layer, and then slowly glide your knife around the whole perimeter of your paper and go around the corners. Whoops. And it pops right off the pad. If there's some glue edge, you just remove it. There's your pad. You put your palette knife, and here's our final artwork. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe so you'll be alerted of new videos.